Welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cathi Nelson. I'm the CEO and founder of the Photo Managers, and we love to bring different webinars with different companies that we really have great relationships with. Nixplay has been one of our favorite companies for many years because our values are very aligned. We believe strongly in the importance of sharing photos and stories and memories. We also believe a lot in the value of privacy. So one thing about Nixplay that is they also care deeply about privacy. So your photos are stored in Amazon servers. They can talk more about that at another time, but they are they're manufactured and you have a lot of privacy built in with your frames, and they're really easy and fun to use. And there's nothing better than a gift of looking at photos. So as Denise and I were talking about something we could do unique this year, we decided, well, I've heard that there's these like knit alongs and scrapbook alongs, and we thought, why not a gift along? Why don't we invite our member community to join us, and we can actually learn about creating a gift all together, or you can certainly just be listening and watching. I'm going to be gifting along with you. And so Michael is going to take it from here and walk us through the whole process. So he said it doesn't get any real in this. So Michael, thank you.
No pressure. Thanks, Cathi, as always. Great intro. Hey everyone, I'm Michael. I'm the CTO at Nixplay. And as Cathi said, I'm going to actually do everything you're about to see live, and hopefully you can follow along, gift along. So give me a second. I'm going to share the first screen. So the first screen I'm actually going to share is the app, and what I should probably explain is, I guess, how I'm doing this, rather than holding a phone up to the camera with my hand sort of trying to keep still, keep things in focus. So we have the ability to basically run a simulator, but what you're seeing is the live app. It's connected to our production, so everything you're seeing is real. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through how to set a gift up. I'm going to talk about what gifting and content preloading actually is and what you can do with it. And then we're going to flip to the other side, which is we're going to switch the camera onto a frame that we've got set up with a camera pointing at it. And Denise is actually going to redeem the gift in real time. So you're going to see how to set it up, and you're going to see the other side, that when it's unboxed, and you've given this to someone or you're doing it for yourself, actually what the experience is and how simple it is for the recipient to set that gift up and get the content you've preloaded. So let me just dive in on that.
And let me just 1 minute say, Michael, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. We have Nixplay has some of their team members answering questions, and then Isabel we'll read questions out loud that, if it makes sense to interrupt Michael, but all your questions will get answered. So don't panic if you miss something or you get confused. Okay.
Awesome. Now, the first thing I should probably point out, actually, for everyone that hopefully they've got the phone in their hand, they've got the Nixplay app open, the first thing you're probably actually going to notice is there's a slight difference in how mine looks to perhaps how yours does. It's not going to look different for very long. So this is the next release that's coming out. So it just gives you a lot more organization here. So I'm just going to touch on that for a second. So what we've done is, rather than everything just being listed on one screen, your home screen, yours is probably saying playlists. We're renaming that to albums, but also it's just made it a bit easier to navigate your different album types. So if we're good to go, I'm going to show you how we actually kick off in preloading. So the first thing we're actually going to do is we're going to go to the more. So at the bottom, you've got an icon which is more. And if you click that, let me just do it. Here we go. So you can see we've just got a few sections in here. One of them is for your loved ones. So this is the sort of the easiest way to get here. And within there, you've got preload photos for a gift frame. And I'm gonna intentionally put a few pauses in, but before I actually start filling, if you like, filling the form out, just completing the screens, it's probably worth just touching on what is content preloading and what can you actually do with it. Because Cathi just asked me a great question before everyone came in, actually, and it was because Cathy's setting one of these up for her husband as a gift, but she said, "Oh, I better grab my credit card and order the frame." Well, great news is you don't actually even need the frame. You know, you can set this up in advance. You don't need to touch the frame. So if you're ordering a frame for a gift and you want it sent directly to whoever the gift is for, it can be shipped directly to them. You don't need to see it. You don't need to unpack it. It's transparent effectively. And that's one of the beauties of this. Now, the other thing that I want to call out, and if I'm honest, I want to call it out because I'm proud of what we've done. It's a differentiator because there are other frames out there. But one of the things that we do that other frames don't do is it doesn't just need to be you that's setting the gift up. So, and I'm going to show you that as I do it, because I'm going to invite Denise to also contribute to that gift. Now, yes, Denise is in the room with me, but it wouldn't matter. Denise could be in another state, another country. She could still add content to the gift. So when the recipient gets it, they've got personal messages from me, got personal messages from Denise, and they've got photos from both of us. So the first thing we're going to ask you is, who are you setting the gift up for? So I'm just going to go with something very simple, and I'm going to set it up for my mother, my mum. I'm going to click through onto next, and there's a couple important questions. This is one of them. So what's my mum's email address? And I'm going to just realize I'd gone for mum, so I'm going to make an apology now, because actually I'm going to use Denise, who clearly is not my mother, but I'm going to use Denise as the recipient. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to use Denise. I'm going to just use my mum. And I'm just going to call her mum@nixplay.com. So the reason this is important is when it comes to redeeming the gift, so the frame has been unboxed, it's been connected to the Wi-Fi. There's only two things that are going to need to be entered in to the frame. One is the email address of the person receiving it, and one is the gift code that's generated. So we want to try and get the right email address here. Now, if I click through into next, and there may be a slight lag with me using the simulator here, but not too much, hopefully. The next question, again, really important question, is what time zone is the recipient in? And the reason we ask this is we automatically set the time zone on the frame without the recipient needing to manually do that. So I'm just going to stick with what's there, but as you can see, if I click into that, as you'd expect, there's all the time zones kind of stateside and obviously globally, but I'm just going to stick with the first one in the list. The next thing we're going to ask you is the relationship. And as we know, I'm setting this up for my mother, so I'm simply going to go for mother. Couple things you can kind of just pick, or you can enter in any other relation there. Now, this is where I'm going to have to just do something slightly different. and I'm just going to come to it. So what's the occasion? Well, we might as well go with Christmas, given we're in December. Kind of makes sense that we run with that. So let me just go next on this. Now, because I'm running on a simulator, I'm just going to need to back out, and I'm going to come to the screen that you all should be on. But just give me 1 second, because I say I need to back out because I'm on a simulator. So just give me 1 second. And I will jump to the screen that you should all now be on. And 1 sec, here we go. So I click that edit button. Right, so all being well, we should all be on a screen with 4 steps listed in there. The first step should now be complete. And as you can see, for me, it's mum's details. For Cathi, it's Cathi's husband's details, etc., etc. And that step should be complete. The next thing we can do is we can personalize the gift. So this is a personal message and a photo or a video, and that's what's going to be seen first when the gift is redeemed. So to do that, all we're going to do is we're going to click into that box. So the add a greeting message. Hey, let's just go, I'll go mom rather than mum. And let's just keep it simple. Hey, mom, love you. Now, I could just run with that, but not run this on the simulator. Actually, it's worth me just talking through this bit. So if you're new to Nixplay, you've not uploaded any photos, you're going to get a prompt asking for permission to upload photos. So that's all you're doing, is you're giving the app permission to see your photos when you say it's okay to see the photos. The app can't see it at any other time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say allow access to all photos. And there we go. So this is a simulator, so there really aren't many photos on there, but I'm just going to pick a photo, and I've got a preview of the photo. I'm going to say, click the blue button to say, hey, that's cool. I'm happy with that photo. And now we can save that and actually have a quick preview of how that's going to look on the screen. And we can see there, hey, you know, I'm stood next to a waterfall at the moment. I can't be there at Christmas. Hey, mom, love you. So that's the greeting message. Now, I'm just going to click next out of that. And what we will see is that's step 2 done. It's as easy as that. Now we've added a greeting message. So completed mum's details. We've added a greeting message. And here's really where the magic comes, or part 1 of the magic. And that is we've got the ability to add multiple photos and videos, preload that in the frame we've not even seen or not even ordered, and we definitely don't need to touch. We can go ahead and add as many photos as we want here, and those photos will be automatically downloaded to the frame when the frame is redeemed. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a couple photos. As you saw, I've only got kind of 6 photos on here, but let me just go ahead and select a couple of them anyway. So let me just select a random amount there. And top right on the screen, you will see a button that says add. And I can hear Denise typing away very quickly there. Denise, if there's anything I need to pause on or
got it, thanks.
kind of clarify, just let me know. Again, we've got that same preview screen as when we uploaded the message photo. I'm going to go ahead and just say I'm happy with those, click the blue button, And hey presto, we can see we're now photos and videos completed, and actually that's it, uploaded the photos. So I'm going to pause there just for a second, because as you can see on my screen and hopefully on your screen, we've completed 3 of the 4 steps, and they're the 3 mandatory steps. The 4th one is optional, but actually it's this 4th one that, as I mentioned earlier, I'm incredibly proud of, because this is something we do that no one else actually does. And this is where I could go, do you know what? I live in England, or I live in New York. My siblings, my brother is in Australia, my sister is in Scotland, and actually we're buying this as a gift to our mum. And we'd like to all contribute to that gift. So this is where, oh, hang on a second, apologies. I'm going to go back, actually, good example. So I said I'm going to skip that. I'm not going to skip it. So I've gone back in the process. And actually, that's just forced me to talk about the fact that you can go back and you can change any details. And equally, if you wanted to come back into photos and videos, you could click photos and videos and go and add some more photos in there, for instance. But let me invite Denise to contribute to this gift. So really straightforward process. All I need to do is enter Denise's email address. So I'm going to add Denise to this. Invite. So again, all you actually need to know is the person's email address you're going to invite. Now, what's happening behind the scenes is Denise shortly will get an email on that, and she will be invited to do 2 things. She can't change mum's details. That's you're setting up the gift. What Denise can do is she can add a greeting message, and she can add some photos and videos. But for the purpose of this, I say that's Denise is off camera and she can contribute. I'm going to say finish. Now, from a setup perspective, that's us done. You should now have a screen that looks a bit like this, mum's gift. Gift is ready. And we can see here the 2 important pieces of information we spoke about earlier. We've got mum's email, in this case, mum@nixplay.com. And we've also got a gift code. So both of these are going to be needed in a moment. But again, before we think about redeeming, at any time until the gift has been redeemed, you can come back here. You can come back, you can hit edit. So if I go into edit, it takes you back to those 4 steps. You can click into any of those 4 steps. So you might go, hey, Dan, or in my case, I added Denise, but I should have also added Mark. I can come in, I can invite Mark. So it's not a fire once and forget. You can come in and customize, you can change very, very, very easily. But actually, I got lucky. I set it up first time right. So the next thing we can do here is we can set a reminder for you to receive a reminder about sharing the gift code. Because one of the things we don't do is we don't automatically announce the gift to the person you've set it up for. We don't want to ruin the surprise. We don't know when you're going to give it. So we leave that bit to you. Now, if we wanted to do a reminder, you can literally come in, you can set a reminder, and we will remind you on the date you set, hey, don't forget, you've set up a gift for mum. Don't forget to share the gift code. Now, I'm going to skip that. I can skip it by just clicking off of that. the other thing I can do is I can do share now. And that's the same as if you're on your phone and you're in Nixplay or you're in WhatsApp and you click a share icon, you can share the GIF by email, you can share by SMS or text message, WhatsApp, etc. So I'm not going to go ahead and do that. And so I guess before we switch to the camera view, is there anything, Denise, we need to sort of pause and clarify?
We've got a couple of people who are who've kind of come out of the right point in there. Let me just find the messages in their app. So Cathi, I think Sai gave you some instructions as to how to get back to the screen that you wanted.
Oh, so did we come out of the GIF code? Out of the set?
That happened to me as well. I'm in I see my playlist because I added some photos.
Let me,
I jumped ahead.
That's okay.
Where do I go back to? I'm trying to see, how do I,
So there's a couple places you can do this. So for now, the easiest place to go is click on your frames icon at the bottom.
Okay, there you go.
And yeah, because what we do
There's the edit. Okay.
Yeah, so you can just go in and edit it. If you've already got a list of frames in there, there's a little drop down top left next to, it might be a frame name. If you're not seeing the gift, you click that, you'll see a list of the frames and any gifts that are currently in setup, because you're setting up a frame, so that's why it exists at the moment where the frame is. So yeah, you just, once you're there, just click edit and you're back into the process. Does that work for you, Cathi?
It worked for me. Yep, that was perfect. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Denise, anything else I need to be?
I don't think so. I think Sai is answering questions as we go, but oh, we've got a really interesting question here. Can we set up a frame that's already been gifted?
Yes. Oh, can you, so hang on a minute. So yes is the answer. You can set up a gift at any stage for a frame, actually. I'm going to show, we might need to ad lib a bit. So on the frame, once a frame has actually been set up, there's a place in the menu on the frame itself. So on the frame settings, there's a place where you can then redeem a gift code from within the frame settings. Now, what we're about to show isn't that, but we might be able to ad lib. We might really need to kind of think on our feet here. So let me park that one and come back to it. And
from Melanie C, can we set up several frames in one app?
Yes, absolutely. So again, if I just go back to where we started, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shoot through this. So again, what I've done, just to repeat, is I've gone to the more icon, bottom right. I'm selecting preload photos for a gift frame underneath for your loved ones. Now we're essentially back at the start, but rather than mum, it's now for dad. And in fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to quickly, we're not going to use this one. Oops, I forgot the @ but I can show you how that looks in the app. So let me just quickly click on a few screens here. There we go, father, Christmas. And what I will need to do is just back out because of the simulator, but that's fine. So if now we come to the frame screen, you will see we got dad's gift there, but if I click the little icon, we've also got mum's gift. So absolutely, you can set up as many gifts using this mechanism as you want. the other thing worth knowing, and I know this was a question that was asked ahead of time, or this will go some way to answering it, which is, if I've got 4 frames or four siblings or four in the family, how do we all share and contribute to actually to the gift or directly to a frame? So before we switched the camera view on the frame, I'm just going to actually look at what's happening, because if we look at Mum's gift here, we can see, and for everyone that is following this along, so on the playlist screen, you will see a playlist entitled Somebody's Gift, whoever you said it was for. So in my case here, we've got Mum's Gift. Now, the reason it's worth kind of knowing about this is the bottom right, you can see there that there are a number of circles with initials in. So we've kind of got M for me. Sorry, I beg your pardon. M for Mum, for it's Mum's gift. You've got my initials there, and you've got Denise's initials there. So automatically, as part of setting the gift up, everyone is added to a single playlist, or in the case of what's coming out, a single album. But for now, a single playlist. What that means is, even after the gift is redeemed, it's on the frame, you can come back into the app at any time and you can upload, and I'm actually going to do that. So let's go into Mum's gift. We can see here, we can see, for instance, we can see the pictures I've added, and then we can see some pictures that Denise has added as a contributor that are far more interesting than mine. I know they're Denise's because I only added 4, and I can see Denise has added some walk-in and sort of water shots there. But I can come back in here and say, even before the gift is redeemed or after, I can come in and I can upload photos. Those photos then appear directly on the person's frame. So let me switch the process now. I'm going to change the screen, and this is where Denise is going to step in as the recipient. So give me a second. I'm just going to change the screen share. And here we go. So as I say, what we've got here is, and you'll see Denise kind of hand, or part of Denise coming in the shot.
Read the code out to you.
Hang on a second. I need to. So as you can see, we've got a camera set up pointing at a frame. I just need to rearrange my screen so I can actually see the code. And actually, just while I'm doing that, the frame that we're using, because I know a lot of people on the last call we did were asking about a larger 15-inch screen. So this is a brand new frame available in the US and I think the UK currently. And this is a really high resolution 15-inch frame. Give me a second, Denise. I'll just grab that code. Should have written it down as we were going, but I did not. So give me 1 second. So we want Mum. So you've done mum at nixplay.com, yeah?
Yeah.
And the code is TXS 19019.
I'm clicking next.
Oh, next is mum at nixplay.com.
Are we spelling it with you?
Yes, apologies. I switched between English and kind of American there. At nixplay.com. Did you get the at?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Just above.
Last one.
That's it. And yeah. So this is where let's see how doing this as live as we possibly can goes. So what we're actually doing is behind the scenes, that has automatically connected to our servers in the cloud. And as Cathi pointed out earlier, security is a big thing for us. I always mention this. So all of our photos, anything you upload, so your images that you entrust with us, are stored in the US on encrypted servers. And actually what you can see hopefully see on the screen there is there you go. So there's the message from me. Hey mom, love you. Then that will flip because Denise has added her own greeting. Happy Christmas, mum.
You're not square on, Mike, so you might just need to select the right.
Oh, for me. Oh, unless the camera's moved, I can't really control the.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, sorry, I beg your pardon. I know what it is. Sorry, I beg your pardon. There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just realised I switched screens. So let me leave that there a second. So there are the messages coming through. Denise, if you wouldn't mind just clicking the button, which is View Playlist Photos. And what we should have are all of the pictures that both Denise and I contributed to the gift for Mom automatically on the frame. So again, really the process is simple to set up on the app. No need to touch the frame at all. Don't need to unbox it. 2 steps or three steps on the frame. One of them was already done. We were connected to Wi-Fi. Once you're connected to Wi-Fi, press the button that says I have a gift code to redeem, enter the gift code, enter the email address, good to go. So hopefully, hopefully everyone's been able to follow through on that process. Cathi, I'm gonna pick on you because I can see you on the screen anyway. How did we do in the gift setup? I know you've not got the frame. You're going to order that for your husband, but
right. But yeah, no, I can get distracted and keep trying to add more photos. So yeah, no, that was really easy. I mean, it was really helpful though, because like I got a little stuck there knowing go back to the frame to get back to that. I mean, it seems like it should be so obvious, but it wasn't. And then go to that edit and to continue to add photos and videos as I go, I can keep
you could just absolutely
keep adding them.
And you can come back to the process,
which is also amazing. So right, I don't have to I could come back. So no, I'm really excited to have. I'm excited. I love the ability to write a little note and as well. I think that's really fun. And I just invited his sister. So what does the email look like? Do you have an example of what the email looks like that they get? Maybe you showed that. I might have been busy looking down at
I didn't show it because
does it pretty much just say
Denise will have actually, did you get an email inviting you to contribute?
Yes, I did, and it makes it really easy. So there's a really.
Do you want to share your screen on that, or do you want to send it to me and I can just share it on my screen?
I'll send it to you.
So I know we're jumping around a little bit here, so just bear with me a second.
Yeah, because I don't think ideally I won't have to text her and say, "Hey Maggie,
no,
watch
absolutely.
for this." She'll notice that and she'll see. Okay.
And I'll just wait for that from Denise. So the email you can see down here. So Michael Barlow Pie invited you to help Mum set up a gift frame for Mum, and then we've got some instructions there on how to actually do it.
Right. Yeah, that's really easy. So that'll make sense. Okay, that's great.
Cool. Well, I'm super excited to see so many people, and I really hope that everyone found that really easy. And
I think the questions are being answered by your people here, the questions that are coming in. Are there questions anybody have that you feel like you need answered? Isabel can ask them if
well,
haven't been answered.
I'll tell you what I can do, actually. Just jump back to a sort of an earlier question on people sharing their photos, moments and memories, so they kind of get on the frame. So one of the things we could just very quickly look at, actually, and let me just relocate the right screen. So just bear with me a second. Here we go. Right. So what happens once the gift's redeemed? How do you continue sharing? So if we just stick with mum's gift, could be any playlist. It really doesn't matter. But sticking with mum's gift, if we click into that, what we can do, I'm just going to show you how I did that. So I've gone into a playlist. Doesn't matter what the playlist is. I've gone into the playlist. I've gone ahead and clicked where we've got the initials. And when I'm in here, I can add simply by including more email addresses. I can invite other people to be able to upload content to that playlist, and the person you've already given the gift to will automatically have the new photos and videos appear on their frame in their home without them having to do anything. I guess any other questions coming through?
It's an interesting question. I can see there's a scenario where people want to gift their frames or gift a frame to perhaps an elderly relative who isn't familiar with email. And so how can we best help them? So
isn't familiar with email. So I guess ultimately the question comes down to, do they have an email address or not? Now, in the case they don't have an email address, because anything on Nixplay requires an account. So it doesn't matter whether it's the frame, it's the app, mobile or the web app, everything is still linked to an account. So one of the things that someone could do is actually just register a free email address. They don't need to give it to the elderly relative, but you just need it for an account. So you could just set up a Google email address for someone. They don't need to use it. It just means that for setting up the frame, that would be the way around that.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it might be worth touching on shared playlists as well. So for instance, for my parents, I have a frame for them on my account. And I can open up the frame for my brothers to contribute if I wish. Yeah,
I mean, I've not got them on here to demo, but it's a really good point, actually. So often we find, and it was something we was asked a lot about, which was along the elderly relative line. It's how can we make it easy for someone in the family, perhaps the gifter, how can we make it easy for them to remotely manage a elderly relative's frame? So perhaps they're buying a frame for an elderly relative, but actually, if some settings need changed, how can we help you do that? So it's not, you're not having to do telephone support as a relative. You're not having to kind of do that troubleshooting. You can actually just use your app to do it. I think what we might want to consider is a separate webinar on that. Moves into a slightly different, and I'm conscious of time, not my time, everyone else's time. I'm very happy to arrange with Cathi if it's an area that people would like to again do something similar. And I'm happy to commit to, actually, if Cathi and Denise say, actually, we're getting a lot of questions about a certain area, we'd love to do the same process and dive into a particular area of how we do things. I'm more than happy to commit to, repeating this type of gift along, but remote management, whatever it is, because we've also got some really, really exciting releases coming up. And I know, Cathi, this is something you and I touched on in the past on our last session, and it's all been very hush hush. There's a lot of secrets kind of there, but we've got some really exciting things coming up. And actually, we're getting very close to being ready to show some of these and actually go a step further with allowing people to play with some of them.
That's exciting.
And actually, I'll tell you what I will do just while I'm here, because even in the app that most of you will have access to, there's something that we've not announced, but actually it's already in the app, or partly. So if you go into one of your playlists, and I'm just going to go into random here, doesn't matter what you go into, but just pick a playlist that isn't a gift one yet. Now, I've gone into random, and towards top right, you will actually see a TV icon. Now, again, we've not shouted about this yet because it's only partly supported, but I think this is a great forum just to sort of mention it as a bit of a teaser to something that's partly available now, something that's coming up, but also it sets a direction of travel for us. Because if I click that TV icon, what you'll get a bit of information there, and straight away, hopefully, it will start making sense that you're soon going to be able to watch your playlists, not just enjoy them on your frame, but if it's a big family gathering and you want to look at photos that everyone's sharing, you can actually watch them if you have a smart TV. Now, as I say, this is partly supported. I don't need to kind of read everything out, but you can click the learn more. Apologies, I'm running on the simulator. It's not going to let me play. If you click learn more, I'm sure you will get a nice information page that tells you a lot about that particular feature. So apologies, it doesn't load on the simulator. I haven't tested that. So as I say, this is the ups and downs of doing it live. But if you click it in your app, you'll be able to read more about it. So it just gives you a sense of some of the things that are coming up. And I'll give you a couple teasers. We've rebuilt the entire web application. It's looking very exciting. It's about to get much easier to do some of the stuff you already do. Introduce different ways of doing some exciting pieces. So I'm going to leave it at that. I know we're going to we're kind of probably running over on time, but hopefully say that gives a bit of a teaser, and I'm very happy to do more of these. So let me get off the broken screen.
Yeah, and what's wonderful about what I like about these live presentations where we do this is, one is, as consumers, we forget how hard it is to upgrade, how much work it takes to create technology that works. And we want it to work when we want it to work, but it's really helpful to hear from the people behind the scenes and the amount of time and effort that you're putting into following up people's requests and to try and be reactive to what's happening in the marketplace. So I think that's just wonderful. And I'm excited. I think we've gotten a lot of great comments and things here from people about, you know, what this means and the ability to gift the have the photos. I love it's just so much more impressive than years ago. I think I gave my mom one, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't set up yet. And it makes such a difference to, I think, to have that little message and things like that as well. So.
Well, I guess happy Christmas, everyone. I know a little bit early on that, and I hope your gifts are well received.
Oh, somebody said I saw a 30% code but didn't get it down. Is that in the chat?
Yeah, that will be getting sent out.
Can you share it on screen, because I don't have everyone's email addresses.
Okay.
Send it into their
I'll tell you what. Let me just give me 1 second. I'm just going to just need to restart the.
And Renee asked, I think I missed the answer to whether this can be done from a desktop computer. I think the gifting part has to be done from the phone, but you can then add photos to the playlist afterwards from your computer, or no?
Yes, absolutely. You can add from the computer.
Right. The gifting piece to start is through the Nixplay app, but then.
And I'm just reloading the app so I can get. Here we go. Let me switch back to share screen. You don't need to see me logging in. There we go. So we got TPM gift 30. All one word, no spacing. And I think Denise you just putting that in the chat as well.
I am indeed.
So that should be in the chat.
I'll ask a question for somebody like myself. I went to order earlier today, and then Denise said, wait, which I'm glad you did, but what size? I mean, you know, it's hard for me to visualize 10-inch, 15. Is there any, do people have an opinion about what size is the most, you know, what is the most popular size, or what, you know, what are the advantages or disadvantages of some of the different sizes?
I mean, for me personally, I like the bigger frames. I mean, as you, I mean, I know you already know, Cathi. You know, my love of photos. Mm-hmm. So I have a personal attraction to the bigger frames, and what I love about the new one, because as you expect, you know, I'm fortunate that I get to play with all of the frames. The new one is the screen resolution, the quality and the crispness of the screen is far better than the old 15. The old one's good, but this one is
okay. So if you're
super high quality.
Go with the
15 and also the 10-inch, but I think the other one is and Denise, you can probably speak to the story behind the Abrina, because I know we have a bit of a limited edition, and again, this is brand new. It's blue and gold. It's actually sat it was sat next to the 15-inch, but still in the box. I've not even unboxed it yet. It's that new. I only received it actually earlier today, and I've not unboxed it. But I mean, the blue is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. I've got my eye on it, so I'm rather jealous that Mike has got that particular one that came into the office. It's beautiful. It's a really deep blue and gold, and it's inspired by the Abrina butterfly, which is the only creature to have a true blue pigment. So it's absolutely stunning. For me, it's one of the more sophisticated and glamorous screens in the range, and I'm definitely after one of those for my living room.
So I'm going to chip in there, because there's two things. One, I'm worried, and I need to put that in my bag very quickly before I leave here. And two, Denise is very glamorous, so if she's saying it's glamorous, it's a good testament to actually Denise.
Very kind, but definitely one for the more sophisticated people on your list.
All right. I think the questions, this last question, did we give them the code, or do they receive it when they open?
As in for redeeming it.
I think so, right, Melanie? I think that's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's up to you when you want to give it them. If it's the reason we don't send it is we don't know what the surprise is. We know the occasion because you've told us that, but we don't know when the person you're giving it to is going to unbox it, whether it's a surprise, whether you're going to kind of be there or ring them up, etc. So if you've already told them they're getting the frame, you can just share it immediately. If you want them to open it up on Christmas Day, then share the code on Christmas Day. Just go ahead and share it then. I mean, that's that's up to you to do. All they need is the gift code once they've unboxed it. So they've unboxed it. Now to get all the content that you've added, give them the gift code, and then they're good to go.
Yeah, Melanie, I think that question, yeah, you'll know when they open it because they can't do it. Right. So if you're in, I'm in Connecticut and I was sending this to a family member in Texas, right? When they open up their present, then you can give them the call or whatever, give them the gift code kind of approach.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Yes. So the first screen, once you connect it to Wi-Fi, so that's the first thing that needs to happen anyway. Then you've got a screen that says, I have a gift code or I do not have a gift code. So you want them to have the gift code and go, hey, I've got a gift code, and then you're good to go. You're going to enter the gift code, you're going to enter the email address, and then all the content's there.
Yeah, Melanie said great. She's sending 4 and wants them all surprised at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah. All right. I think Isabel, you agree we're in good shape here?
Yeah, I think so. I think there are a couple of questions that are a little bit more generic, and I know that Nixplay support is excellent. So if they weren't covered on this call, please don't hesitate to reach out to their support team as well.
Yeah, and I'll just I'll give a big shout out actually, and thank you obviously to Denise and Cathi, but Cyril, who is also, or Sai, that is on the call, is from the Nixplay support team. So actually, she dialed in to answer some of the questions and help Denise get through those as well.
Yeah, so thank you so much, everybody. I hope, I really thought this was fun. Maybe we'll do some more of these gift alongs. Let us know if you liked it. We could do it with, in all sorts of different ways. And as always, thank you, Nixplay. You're a wonderful partner. We really appreciate it. And it's a great gift. And I'm excited to be joining in on this process. Again, you'll get the recording probably by Friday. If not sooner, we just do a little editing and make sure that everything is cleared up. And we also, we posted our YouTube channel there, and we are posting things on YouTube. So you can, if you lose track of that email, you can always go back and watch it. Phil, my husband's reaction, Isabel said, yeah, I could do that and send it. I could do a little video of his reaction. That'll be fun. So, all right, everybody. Well, thanks so much. And we'll look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thank you, Michael and Denise. Been wonderful.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.